Welcome back. We're talking about taxes and tax policy here at the height of tax season with the chairman of the House Committee on Revenue, Representative Jay Kaufman of Lexington. So also on the ballot this fall, apparently there'll be a question that will allow voters to roll back the state sales tax to, I believe, down to 5% from 6.5%. So I take it you're opposed to that.
Correct.
But if the argument for the millionaires' taxes, well, look, you know, they can afford it and we need the revenue. Well, why shouldn't sales taxes tend to disproportionately impact lower income people? Why shouldn't they get a break?
Very good question, and it sort of gets us to the heart of really the philosophical question about our tax policy. Right now in Massachusetts, if you're the wealthiest, among the wealthiest, or those with the highest income, your overall tax burden is somewhere in the neighborhood of 5% of your household income for state and local taxes. If you're the poorest among us, it's about 10%. So there's a fundamental inequity in the way we do taxes. In the abstract, if we were to design a tax system from the start, we would definitely reduce the responsibility of sales taxes in the name of equity and increase and have a graduated income tax. We don't live in that world. We cannot do that constitutionally or even politically at the moment. So the question is, how do we balance less than perfect tax policy? And at the moment, we're facing the prospect of this cut in the sales taxes, which would reduce state revenue by $1.2 billion. We can't afford that.
With all due respect to you and your colleagues in the legislature, isn't the fact that we're talking about major changes in tax policy being affected through ballot questions, isn't that inherently an indication of the failure of the legislature to deal with some of these chronic tax equity issues?
In a word, yes. I am disappointed that these major policy questions come to us by way of our constituents and not by way of the debate that we're having at the House. So I'm as disappointed about that as you are.
Do you anticipate, looking ahead now for the balance of this year and forward, that there will be further changes attempted to Prop 2.5? I know you were a backer of the short circuit, where seniors can get a break and be exempted from changes in the local property tax rate. And there have been other efforts to do that, in part because of the politics of overrides. Seniors tend to vote no a lot. Do you see more of that down the road?
I think that's been another one of those third-rail issues that we have avoided, quite frankly, and that's disappointing as well, because the Dutch Leonard, some probably 20 years or so ago, wrote a book, By Choice or By Chance, which took a look at the origins of Prop 2.5 and wondered to what extent some of the consequences of 2.5 were just accidents, and some of them were by design to cut state revenues. We need to be taking a look at Prop 2.5 all over again, because it may have made a lot of sense when it was first initiated. It's had some unintended consequences ever since that make it very difficult to make good tax policy.
Listen, our time's way too short. We need more to delve more deeply into this, but we'll look forward to having you back again soon.
Thank you. I'd welcome that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
That's State Representative Jay Kaufman, chairman of the House Committee on Revenue. That's it for me. Now it's back over to my colleagues for more WBZ News.